Well, hi guys, this is a bit different. I know there's no signs on that one. Just starting my day. All I've got today is Wellingborough. That's it. I'm going solo up to Wellingborough and then picking up an empty fridge and then coming back. It does happen sometimes. You see, the Wellingborough depot is not a chill depot. And so what tends to occur, just remove that to try and stop any squeaking because I've realised I've left all the electrics going and I've been trying to avoid doing that. To stop a backlog of fridges that are required for chill loads, what they do, or what they tend to do, is on a Saturday where it's like half day closing, they just send us guys up. They get a couple of agencies in, a couple of agency guys, maybe some of their own guys, and they just send us up there to bring the fridge back. Otherwise you end up getting a massive backlog of fridges. We have all the ambient trailers, but we have a load of chill loads to go out. So every so often, it's beautiful, and I get paid for 8 hours. So it's like, I could knock this out in about 4. So I'm going to be giving it the beans, get up there, and then come back and go home. And then I can actually start working on editing my vlogs. Because last night, oh damn, I edited the one that came up, number 52, and it took an extra hour longer than I thought it was going to. I was like, oh really? So today I can crank this out and get home and just edit everything that I've got, have something saved. That'll carry me over tomorrow, because I'm in tomorrow at 12, and then of course I've got Monday and Tuesday off, so I can deal with everything then. But yes, so I'm running solo, so I've stowed all of my electrical lines and Susie's. I shall go round now and take a photo so you can see what I mean. I'll put that in about now. And that's basically how I stow them. The correct way of doing it. And I'm starting my day the Zach Wild Black Label Society live way, unblackened. Yes. It's rather nice, puts you in the mood. So anyway, I'm going to go take this photo and I'm going to crack on, because then I can get my day done and everyone's happy. No. Well, we're out and about. There is an advantage to running solo, and that is these things are quick. When you don't have a trailer on, these things are very quick. So it's always fun. And I may accidentally have turned the traction control off. Now obviously I'm not going to record any of the results of doing that. But I'm going to be having a little bit of fun today. Especially when I get to all those private stretches of land I have to go through. Ooh, E-type drag. Very nice. Very nice. Might want to check his mixture though. There seems to be a little bit of smoke coming out the back of that. But nothing blue, so it's not the engine that's knackered. Just his mixture's a bit wrong probably. I should stop doing that, shouldn't I? Right, here we go. Yeah, I do like these things. The thing is, when you're running solo, you can actually see just how economic these things can be if you really want to. That's the other thing. People do a quick check on roundabouts. I've noticed it quite a large amount. And they just, you know, quickly check and carry on. But they see the front end of your vehicle and they think, oh, it's a truck, so they go. And that's the other thing, when you're running solo, you've got to be careful about, is people will do that. They will see the front end of your truck and they will just go, thinking, oh, it's a truck, he's not going to be going very quickly. When you are solo, these things will drift very, very, very happily. And people go and you're on top of them. You know you've got a trailer on. You've got right of way. You're going round, trundle, and they just go thinking that you've got a trailer on and everything, and you are on top of them, looking down at them, and they're just like. So you have to be careful that even though you're running solo in one of these things, and yes, okay, when I get to certain sections of my day to day, I may have a little bit of fun, but that's all going to be primarily off-road. But no matter how tempting it is to really open these up and see what they'll do, always remember that everybody else will just see the unit. They won't identify you've got no trailer on. They won't figure in their little brains that these things are quite quick when they're just on their own. And so a large amount of oops-daisies on junctions or roundabouts between a truck and a car is usually when the truck doesn't have a trailer on. Because everybody notices the truck, the unit, their little brain doesn't work out that you've got no weight on, and therefore you've got 450 odd horsepower on tap and 3,000 foot-pounds of torque with nothing holding it back except how quickly you or it can change gears. So always be wary of that. And as you saw from the photo I put in a minute ago, always store your Susies correctly. Because if you leave them hanging about and then decide, wonder what that button does, you're going to get to your destination and your Susies are going to be ripped to shreds because a couple of them will have fallen down the side, got caught on something, and bye bye. The other thing is you've got your two airlines, your red and your yellow airlines. If one of those airlines snaps, comes off, gets torn off, whatever, there is nothing stopping all the air draining out of your unit. Oof. Like a blowout on a tyre. There is nothing. You snap that line, your air's gone. Your air's gone, you've got no gears, your brakes are on. That's it, everything's done. I've had it before now. There's a shunt button on trailers. And that's if something goes wrong with the trailer, you can just push it in, it overrides the brake so you can actually get it out of the way. It's for shunting short distances, that kind of stuff. Now on new trailers, push it, wander in, you shunt it, you don't need to connect any lines to it. But as they get older, you never use these buttons. You never use a shunt button. I think, to be absolutely honest, shunt buttons are only used realistically when they're stacking stuff on ferries or stuff like that. I've never actually come across a situation where a shunt button has been used. I'm sure, well, they're there for a reason, so I'm sure they do get used. I've just never come across a situation where it's been used. So I'm not overly familiar with shunt buttons. The only thing I do know is on a new trailer you can hit it and it will stay. On an older trailer where it's never been used, I mean, places I run, they never get used, like ever. They get full of crap and grit and all that kind of stuff. You hit them and they come back out. You hit them and they don't stay on. So the only way, some of the trailers I've used where that would work, because I've twitted around with them before now, just to see what goes on. You might as well test them, see what happens. Whatever. And they don't stay on. So the only thing I can figure out in that situation is if you want to do that with one of the ones that's a bit older, it's a bit knackered, it doesn't stay in shunt mode, you've got to get some poor sap to hold it whilst you move it. Kind of against health and safety. But to be fair, I've never used them. I've twatted about with them to see what happens. I've had a little fiddle about and okie dokie, but I've never officially used them. So I'm sure there are drivers out there who are watching me who know a metric F-ton about shunt buttons. So please comment below and I will wallop that into another vlog. just reiterating your points, because I know that not everybody reads the comment sections. I mean, why would you? I mean, I don't read every single comment on other people's vlogs. I might read all the comments that are posted on my one. Even if I don't respond to you, trust me, I am reading them. As long as I get the email and I know they've been sent. Because that's the other thing I've noticed about AOL. It was like, well, we'll send you so many emails, but every so often we won't. So sometimes it's, for example, Kevin Diag. None of your comments come up in my emails. I find your comments purely by accident. You know, I'm answering somebody else's comment and I'm scrolling and I see the green Asda unit and I'm like, oh, there he is, hello. Nothing that you send comes up in my emails. So if ever you send something and I don't respond, I don't know you sent it. I haven't got a clue. And the other thing is, a lot of the private messages that are sent to me on YouTube, don't get any emails for them either. So every week I will check to see what's in there, which is why sometimes you might send me something and I don't respond for a week or whatever. I don't know. And some of them end up in the spam. So obviously at some point you've put a comment on somebody's vlog they haven't liked and they've classed you as a spammer. So it's a real mess. I don't know what the hell's going on, which is why I always put the link to my Twitter account. It's really easy to open up Twitter and I get everything sent to my Twitter. And if you want to private message me and you followed me and I haven't followed you, just send me a message going, would you mind following us? I'll follow you and then you can direct message me as much as you want. But yeah, I'm having real trouble with that, and YouTube has got this wonderful new thing whenever I go to upload it. It's like, as I've mentioned in a previous vlog, connection lost. No, it's not. I'm on the internet. I have not lost connection lost. And I might have to do that 12 or 13 times before it actually allows me to upload the vlog, and it's really bugging the hell out of me at the moment. So I don't know what's going on there, but whatever. Yes, lovely easy day, and always what I'm gonna start doing. What I'm going to start doing is all of my hashtag vlogs have gone now. Got rid of them. Bye-bye. I privatised them, but I don't think anyone can actually find them because they're not in my how many videos on my channel anymore. So I don't know. But they're bye-bye. See you later. So what I'm going to do is, for the guys who've been following me throughout all the hashtags and up to now, I'm going to start remaking some of that stuff. I'm not just going to hash out what I already made. I'm going to start reiterating stuff like my channel's rules about trolls and things like that. That doesn't mean that I'm currently being trolled. It's just I'm reiterating the rules. I'm reiterating various bits and bobs that you've already seen. So I'll probably do on what you can see in the mirrors when they're set up again and all that kind of stuff. So please be aware that's what's going to happen. I might do what you can see in the mirrors when correctly set up as a tips and tricks, more than a vlog thing, just because that's the entire reason I created the tips and tricks. The other thing, this week has been insane. I have had no time, none. So I haven't really been able to do any tips and trick stuff because there's a guy who's asked me about can I do something on the shunt button, what they're used for, and raising and lowering, suspension, stuff like that. I've got a short day today, so if I can find a trailer, because I've got to pick up a fridge box, I can find a trailer and set one of my cameras up on a trailer next to it, or maybe move around the yard and park next to a trailer, because I'm paid for 8 hours or whatever, so I've got some time I can waste without costing the company more money, if that makes sense. Then what I should do is I should do something about that then. Now, like I've said earlier, a minute ago, I don't use shunt buttons. I know therefore being able to shunt the trailer, you know, move them short distances without having to worry about anything. But there are a couple of issues with that. I mean, you're moving the trailer without any lines on with the shunt button, as far as I'm aware. Well, you've got no brakes on the trailer, so if you're loaded in your yards on a bit of an angle, good luck with that one. And you've got no electrical lines connected, so if you're trying to move the trailer at night, no one can see the trailer. In a darkened yard, at least. So, I can understand an override button being there if something goes wrong with the trailer in, say, a gateway, or it just needs to be shifted off dock, a pipe's fallen out somewhere and you just need to override the brakes. Fine. So I can understand it from that perspective, but I've heard of stories where people have used shunt buttons in the yard because they're too lazy to connect the tug Susies up. What is your major malfunction? So, but I shall do what I can today, and I'll keep it really brief. I may even Google shunt button when I get there, just so as I have more of an understanding of what you'd use it for. I can show you where it is, but outside of that I'm a bit you know, I really am a bit well, it's blue or black and it's there, and that's about as far as I go. But anyway, I shall crack on with my day. I shall do what I can when I get to sunny Wellingborough, and I shall see you probably on the way back, because like I said, I'm just going to Wellingborough and coming back, so I'll probably see you on the way back, do another 15-20 minute segment and end my day, and that'll be that. So I shall see you in a while. Right then, just brake, that's your shunt button. As you can see, when you're connected, it comes back out. And that raises and lowers it. Push it in, turn it up, lifts it, lowers it, pull it out to go back to right height. Pretty simple, really. Well, that's that one done. Picked up the trailer on the way back. Now some people will probably be sitting there going, if you want to crack a day out, why are you going 509.14 A1? Surely it's quicker to go 45 M1414. To be fair, there's about 6 minutes difference. This way is 6 minutes longer, as a general, you know, rule of thumb. And the thing is, all week I have been Derby, Lutterworth. I've just been on the M1 all the time, and I just fancied a change today. I wanted something different, so I went this way. Now, I did a little bit whilst I was at Wellingborough on the setup at the back of this trailer. On the fridge boxes, the brake, shunt button and raise and lower are all at the back. So I set a camera up. I don't know how well it came out. We shall see I'll see when I get back. It's only about 40 seconds long. But I'll basically just show you what the brake is, what the shunt is, and what the raise and lower, the suspension control is. That will obviously be on tips and tricks if it came out very well. I don't really know. I mean, it wasn't exactly the angle I wanted. It didn't give me the room that I wanted either, because of the way the trailers were parked, and that place was rammed. I completely and utterly forgot that it is half day closing at all the sites, and that means 1400 is when they shut. Well, it's 1:45 now. It's 13:42 at the moment, 22. So yeah. It was rammed, it was heaving. Everyone was going in to pick up the last load and all that kind of stuff before the night trunks come in, basically. So I did the best I could. But it's really annoying in that place, because in the trailer park you really have no room. It's not quite wide enough, if that makes sense. a lot tighter than it needs to be. Now a shunt vehicle can work perfectly fine. It's a shorter wheelbase, it's got a better turning circle, and it's specifically designed to do that kind of stuff. And the trailer park in that place has been designed around what the shunt vehicle can do. Oh, goody gumdrops. Somebody broken down, have they? Oh, wondrous. It's a Micra with an L plate on. Oh, goody. Please tell me you're not teaching them how to do hill starts on this road. Oh, son of... Just in case there's a bike coming up, I better indicate, I suppose. I mean, it's unfortunate if you break down. It really is a pain. It's annoying. But the way they're sitting there, I don't think they've broken down. Hopefully they have, that's the reason they're sitting there, but just the way they're sitting there with the seat belts on, everything ready, and her hands were on the steering wheel like that, obviously being given pointers by her dad. Fella, I didn't see the guy in the passenger seat. All I know is that he had moves and a beer gut, so I'm going to hazard a guess it wasn't. They looked surprisingly like they were practicing hill starts. Oh, I hope they weren't. Not on that road. I mean, this is a 509. You don't practice hill starts on the 509. There's loads of roads around this area that are on hills that are not major roads. How bizarre is that? But whatever. I don't know the ins and outs of why they're stopped there. It's just, consider if they had broken down, you wouldn't be wearing seat belts. One of them would be on the phone. You know, or they'd be standing out the front of the car thinking, oh, for God's sake. You know, you wouldn't be sitting in it with your seatbelts on with your 10 to 2 position on the steering wheel, would you? But whatever. Lovely jubbly. Make sure it's all good to go. Yes, has completely thrown me. I've lost my train of thought now. I just saw it, I'm like, ah, where did he go? I've completely lost my train of thought on that one. Which is annoying. I hate it when that happens. I'm usually relatively good at avoiding that. It happens every so often, but I'm usually quite good at it. You know, maintaining what I'm thinking, doing the old Billy Connolly, going off in a completely different tangent and then looping back and coming back to what I'm talking about. But, oh well, such is life, such is life. Yeah. Oh, that's what it. I was talking about how round it was, wasn't I? No, I think I'd already done that bit. I'm having a bit of fun at the moment, trying to remember what the hell I was going about. So I just fancied a break, so I'm coming back this way. Oh, goody gumdrops, everybody suddenly appears. Just as you get there, don't you? My dad refers to it, the M6 lands just as you get to a junction. Yes. Curious as to why I seem to be going a bit quick round corners. I'm empty. I just literally, this is empty. There's no waste on it, there's no empty pallets on it, there's no loads on it, nothing. And that's, you know, some people will say, well, hold on a minute, in the last one you were going on about how well it was managed, you know, you never just run with air. Well, you do every so often, I mean, everywhere does. It's just the way it goes. I mean, even if you're an owner-operator and running with air is costing you a lot of money, you still do it, it still happens. But the thing is, it's half day at the weekend. And because it's half days, they've done enough loads to be picked up on the Saturday and then picked up on the Sunday by whoever, until it opens midway through Sunday. So there's no loads, but there's too many empty fridges up here that, you see, the site I've just been to, it'll close down on a Saturday and then it'll open up Sunday evening. Whereas the site I'm based at closes down about the same time on a Saturday, but opens up Sunday morning about 4 AM, I think. Yeah, around about 4 or 5 AM. And of course they want to get all the chill loads done. Whilst everything's quiet, there's not too many people in because they open up at about, I mean the warehouse and the shunting guys come in around about 4 or 5. And whilst it's quiet before the first drivers get in, they want to load all the chill stuff on. Get that out of the way, get that parked up, and then start doing the ambient. So the chill goes out first. What's happening? So if they're running short on fridges, I get called in to go and get a fridge. I don't mind. It's an easy day for me. But yeah, there we go. It's just so much fun. Oh dear. I'm going to have done 63 hours paid this week. That's not a bad week, is it? Hold on a minute, you're limited to hours. This is where POA comes in. Ta-da! POA does not count towards your working time, nor does it count towards your driving time. But you could still be paid for it. Yeah, but you could use brake. Yeah. And then you get paid off your tacho and you don't get paid for your brakes. This is why I use POA. Now, to be absolutely fair, because I know the POA debate rages on. It depends on what side of the logistics industry you're in. If you do what I do, regional, retail, that kind of stuff, then you are going to find yourself literally living in POA. Whereas if you're general haulage, if you're tramping, if you're giving it the beans up and down the country, well, you're never really going to be sitting around outside of when you're on your break. And of course, in the situations where you know where somebody comes up to you and says, right then drive, you're just going to have to wait, it's going to be about an hour, 2 hours before we can start unloading you. Well, you're going to put it on brake, aren't you? You're going to take the brakes where you can. Whereas people like me, bung it on POA. I mean, a lot of blue chip companies, for anybody who is curious, let's say you've got an uncle or a parent who's a general haulier and you've decided to become a driver, no doubt you will have heard, don't worry about POA, it's all a load of bollocks. Just leave it on brake, my son. Just leave it on brake, bruv. Yeah, that's all you have to do. They can't do it for it. No, it's fine. You can if you want. If you want to, go right ahead. But all large blue chip companies, it's prohibited to do that. For example, I know that Tesco's, Sainsbury's, and I'm unsure about Asda. I know Tesco's and Sainsbury's are. I don't know about Asda. I know Kevin and a few people who are watching me will probably correct me on that one in relation to Asda. But in Tesco's and Sainsbury's, the setting on there, on your tacho, is instantaneously transmitted via the ISOTRAC system to the office so as they know whether you are driving, other work, POA or brake. They can measure exactly how long you've been on all of them. And they will phone you and send you messages if you press on dock. You have to press on dock to let them know you're on dock, and then put it on brake. They will jump up and down on you like it's going out of fashion. They are sticklers for legality. Even, you know, they are proper sticklers for legality. Now, some people say, yeah, but when you're on dock, you can leave it on brake. Not if you're load interacting, you can't. If there's any chance you could be working, you can't leave it on brake. To be absolutely honest, Sainsbury's and Tesco get really emotional if you put it on POA. Because, well, you're supposed to be in the back of the wagon helping the guy unload. So you're not on period of availability, are you? You're on other work. So, depending on what side of the industry you get into, depends on whether you are ever going to bother with POA. Now, personally, I definitely do at the start of my shift, just so as it shows a break between being on daily rest and starting my day. Now, that could be other work, it could be POA. if I've been waiting around for my unit, I don't leave it on break. As I've said before, you get pulled over, your paperwork says you start at 10:30, according to your card, your daily rest carried on till 11:30, alarm bells are going to be ringing. You know, alarm bells are ringing, Willie. What do you mean? You're carrying a waste of Gloria and a bag of fertiliser. What I mean, Willie, is you don't look like your average horticulturalist. Sorry, I got sidetracked with that. I haven't seen that film in ages. I might watch it later on today, actually. But no. I always deliberately make sure I show where my shift's starting, and I make sure it corresponds with my paperwork. Can't get done that way. Not a chance in hell. No pushing it, no boundaries to cross, nothing. If my card matches my paperwork, I'm safe. Simple as. But yeah, like I said, depending on what side of the industry you get into, depends on whether you bother with POA or not. I mean, I know a lot of old, you know, semi-retired truckers who've been in general haulage their entire life, and they've decided to go agency or, you know, get the easy retail job. And they just leave it on break all the time. And the systems within the blue chip companies like Sainsbury's, like Tesco's, record all of that. And after, because they've got their own programs that they set, so that when they download your card, it instantaneously flashes up for the person behind the desk saying infringed or not. And you break the way they're programmed, and they constantly get infringements according to that company. So it's horses for courses. It's different. Companies will train you different ways. Some will not even bother. And this is one of the biggest issues. And I can't really single out Stowies for this, because it does happen in other companies. That's the issue. You know, you get one car that just doesn't want to do the speed, and they just sit there. Look at that. I'm going to join, and of course everybody behind them is getting really annoyed, really aggravated, and they're going to join. You're a truck, you can bloody well wait. So what I do is I put myself in this lane, knowing I'm going faster than the slowest car joining the road. Got to try and work out when I've got past him, because most car drivers don't flash the in. There we go. And then everybody who was pushing, I've got to get in, I've got to get before that truck, now has to wait for me. So it didn't get you there any quicker. You should have backed off, let me carry on, pulled in behind me, gone round and gone. No, 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 you don't want to do that. Fine, fine, fine. But no issues. I'll hold you up. I don't mind. Yeah, no, go in with it behind. Depending, like I said, the issue with certain general haulage, and I can't, like I said, I can't really single out any Stowing, because it does happen across the board with other general haulage, is you're new, you went behind the ears, you go on site, in the incorrect belief they're going to train you legally. Now, depending on who you get as a trainer, because remember, the trainers they use are just drivers from all different walks of life. Now, you might get the trainer who's really good, and he'll train you the correct way of doing things, or the good practice way of doing things. You might get a trainer who is, you know, the kind of driver who sits there clenching the steering wheel with his jaws, foaming at the mouth, going, I've got to get there, I've got to get there, I've got to get there, you know, and he's going to train you the not good practice way. And if you buy trucking magazines, whatever they are, Truck and Driver, whatever magazine you decide to buy, if you buy those magazines, you will read stories of so-and-so, haulier, has just had their O licence suspended, or they've had vehicles removed from their O licence, and multiple drivers are being prosecuted for breaking the law. It doesn't tend to go into details about exactly what these drivers have been doing because they haven't been prosecuted yet, and you are presumed innocent until proven guilty, so media can't go out and say it. And after the convictions, well, nobody's paying attention anymore. So you don't tend to find out what they were convicted for. And this is where you get the, well, what were they doing? Were they whipping their cards out and carrying on to drive? Were they, you know, using the extra half-hour leeway that you get every single day? Or were they just leaving on break every spare minute they had? And of course, their paperwork didn't match up with their record, their daily record. You know, there's loads of different reasons why people get prosecuted. What you say is, oh, well, that's my right, this is the law, that's perfectly fine. But good practice is good practice. Bad practice, you leave yourself open to a kick in the nuts, don't you? But again, like I've said, it depends on what side you get into it. Your general haulier, you're very rarely, if ever, going to use POA. If you retail like yourself, regional, you're probably going to live in it. But there we go. Anyway, that's enough of me blathering on. I shall see you in the next one, which will most likely be tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. And I'm going to get back every day and go home. Woo! I actually get hours between my shifts. It's going to be like a day off.